Hi guys, and welcome back to another video on the wrestling review of the annual Scissor NXT review. I'm reviewing this video. Um, so to start us off for this week's episode of the review, we start off with the women's Irons the Ivor Summit segment with Kendall Gray, Killer Annie Jordan, Killer Annie Jordan Gray, and Zoluka, and they have their thoughts in the battle, the other way. So was in the women's Iron Survivor. Eva was there to introduce it. Kalani Orton shows why she's becoming a good heel. She enters at yellow or like really effectively. Ran down Jordan and Gary Streaker up in the history. Yeah, she ran down a vice and she ran down Kendall Gray. But but all be interrupted by JC Jane and Fatal Influence. The JC comes out and she says, JC says, oh, look at all the losers in the ring. I'll only lose New Year's Eve. Oh, has had a few shots, killer, and I'll have you over. But I'm gonna beat you as well. You've got Kendall Gray, the new hero, and she runs the hunk and Gray, um, she runs down Jordan and races, and the, and it'll come and it's in Jordan and Killer, and he getting into all, JC Jane would be put unleashed in the rest of it and so put unleashed. They'd be in a match against Jordan, Kendall, and so all it are on, but then we cut to a backstage of action Ariana Grande is basically you have now Joe Hendry and you hails Spence only to the first match in the I would only to hail getting a strong showing and getting it all and we'll have to come roll or kind of very Marianne and agree she gets a bit we then get we'll then get some more pre tape of Shiloh Hill talking about his teenage years and etc. about him going camping out in the woods. A very brave I asked, and as soon as he screamed he as soon as he screams with a cop, it reminds me of Bray Wyatt. So then we cut back to Ava's office, and she's got or she's got Evans, and um she's got Sway, and yeah, she's got the rest of them, and I on Survivor challenge me and Sway or Evans. I was on, I think, is in the air, and also Joe O'Hendry. Um, yeah, 'cause Joe Hendry's an Iron Survivor, isn't he? So, yeah, so she's got the rest of them embers in there. She actually confirms, um, she actually confirms there's an enigma and tag for the um and for the and just to get their ankins sorted for the Iron Survivor. That would be a bit later on in the show. Obviously when I was born with depending on Enoch's and that uh, um and obviously Enoch's had a bit as a night because he handed over his NXT championship to um Ezekiel on sugars so he can focus on singles gold. It just kind of keeps the NXT tag titles in the eight, because they're a faction. I suppose you could legally see the sense, I know, logically see the sense of Lennox passing over the title. He says he's looking for singles gold. Um, and like then he has a face to face with Oba Femi. That was the main event. I just spoiled the there of that result. But in any case, you've got and you've got Soluka getting the victory and the women tag match against three of the members of the Iron Survivor Challenge gonna up against Fatal Influence opens to say there was tension throughout the night of there was tension throughout the night with Ari and Soul backstage in the locker room before they made to the out for the match, and that kinda of led to obviously the spear at the end of the match from Zarya. She comes out, but she hits Kendall Curry, and it's quite yeah that she meant to hit Soluka. Um obviously so obviously that ties into Elsa Aria Os Soluka and the Iron Survivor Challenge for the women. Obviously I think that'll be the case. Then you get Josh Briggs defeating TV on Heights. Obviously if the JBL won. Harriet, this was probably the best match of the night as there's too many any sort of multi-person matches at the moment. I like um uh, but like obviously you knew that was going to happen with NXT the line and the two Iron Survivor matches, but it's nice to have um singles action and obviously Tavion Heights is a good performer. I should have mentioned this at the start actually, but Corey Graves was on commentary, and this was one of his better performances as an announcer. Now, I'm not really a fan of Corey Graves. If you've been if you've been following the channel, but he raises a few good points throughout the show in the entrance that a lot of Josh Briggs is fellow NXT alumni are now on the main roster while he's still in NXT. The similar thing had happened to him. Corey Graves would expect in and and as it's starting to get to Josh or eggs, but yeah, good um yeah, but yeah, but good match. Here you can see elements of a Stan Hansen and JBL espresso or if Josh or he's a big 6'10" guy. He has JBL's closed line and I think he actually does it a lot as other than JBL. Seems to be a lot more arches as he springs off the ropes. I think he's a lot more athletically gifted than JBL, and yeah, it shows. Um, then then OT defeat the new Chase Show guys. I'm not a big fan of the new Chase U and OTA ship has sailed for me, but they get a pretty decisive victory here, double team maneuver and yeah, so not really too much to say here, but yeah, as you'll see, this is more about hype for or NXT deadline the final pay-per-view, which I'll cover on this channel. Obviously, you hear the obviously you hear the her reaction to what is a deemed agitating platform. She gives her reasons as to why she basically said that they consider your friendship for backing up. Yes, actually tried to stop offer from defending the NXT women's title constantly and getting up to keep the title from the family as it took her 4 years to defend the belt, etc. And yeah, so um and then yeah. and you see a sort of dishevelled, sort of heartbroken version of Tatum Paxton. Normally, when our friends on her, she goes back acted as the holes, etc. But with this was a different sort of response. She's obviously heartbroken, dejected, and upset. She says, I'm staying back here for not only my own good, but for yours, because I don't even know what I'm going to do to you for revenge purposes, but I'll see you this Sunday at deadline, and yeah, there's a pretty good exchange here. I like Tatum Paxton as a character, and Izzy is kind of the more sort of manipulative heel and right the way throughout this storyline. You right the throughout the storyline, you got the sense of that right through the what and but it'll be a decent sort of match here. I'm not too sure who's going to get the victory because they both could do with the victory. You've got Tatum coming off that, you've got Tatum coming off that, you've got Tatum coming off that huge title defeat to AC when as the team got involved, except, so yeah, she needs a victory, but also, uh, um, as they could do with a big paper or view victory, she's not got any victories, and she often gets kinda lost in the shuffle when it comes to heels, um, the heels in the NXT as you've got Fatal Influence, you've got obviously Billy Aikman and the Rose still here, and you've got Annie Jordan, who's just turned heel a few months ago. As he's often as he's often in the back row when it comes to the heel sort of side of the room. She does have something about her. It's just that there's so it's just because there's been so much tension with the other heels in the locker room and the more sort of attention and investment into their characters and personas. Izzy, she kind of um she kind of feels like an after I thought a lot of times, and she um and she does have something about her. She could be interesting, but in terms of the rankings of the NXT heels, she's not really in that conversation a lot of the time. Also with Ethan Page, um, Ethan Page gets his still win by Mr. Anna. Obviously, he thinks he's get dead line off. He says he's the hardest to Orkin and best champion in WWE, as he also holds the Triple M X Tag Championship. So from Chelsea Green, and he still holds the NXT North American Championship. But Eva says no, only when you're not having an eye off as you're defending the North American Championship, then you see me Mr. Gill and Ethan's car, and obviously she puts him for Deadpool, and that'll be an interesting sort of match. They're really trying to sort of get my Mr. Gilana on the more sort of mainstream shows. Amy is on Halloween Havoc and that tag team showcase match with Parker Lee up against Javon Evans and Leon Slater, and yeah, so that was that'll be a pretty cool match. I think Ethan Page will retain here, and I genuinely think though that they will want to try and sell more Yeska and Mr. Regular and merchandise. But overall, I'm really looking forward to that match, even though I know who's going to win and that, and I do like Gil Anna. I think he's a good sort of uncomedy character. I think he's a good sort of fun comedy character. Uh, and so a pretty good offering offering at the pay-per-view. Then you've got um the then you've got the main event that I've talked about already. I was on it's to pick his or an Iron Survivor Challenge. And if you don't know, guys, the Iron Survivors kinda like the King of the Mountain match, but with constant pinfalls rather than with alters. The pinfall, the pinfall system is kinda World Tour Icon Iron Man style, but you've got the five competitors scoreboard up here, Iron Man style, and whoever gets the most falls within the 25 minutes is the Iron Survivor. So it's basically like a number one contenders scramble sort of match, very similar to the very sort of similar to the championship scramble. So you've got three matches already presented in the one concept. You've got the traditional Iron Man concept. You've got TNA's King in the Mountain matchup with the penalty box for and you get submitted a pinfall, and also you've got um you've got the championships scramble aspect, and the winner gets a shot at Year's Evil. Um, obviously, obviously, I forgot to mention on the stuff on the review. Eva receives a parcel, and will are kinda not sure what's in the parcel. I think it's Tony D'Angelo's shredded sort of fair hat because he's obviously not the Dawn of NXT anymore. And yeah, I think that's what that is. And finally, you get the contract signing of Oberth, who interacted with Dion in itself. Yeah, after Dion will handed the tag title over to Sequel on Sugar, so but I foreshadowing later on in the episode. Um, so s- s- so Rick is ancient over he signed a contract for NXT deadline and yeah yeah so basically they have they have a bit of a they have a bit of a whole exchange and Eva Jira or is it textual or you see did I major the same or you see Tony D'Angelo involved and so maybe Tony D'Angelo comes back and he costs and he costs um and he costs either Saints or Oba the title and yeah because I found that a bit I found that a bit strange but overall guys I enjoyed this episode sorry it's not in greater detail but as as because because it's a daily it's and I'm having to rely on my but I'm gonna give this probably around either a 7.5 or an 8 out of 10. I'll probably round it up to an 8. Um, just because just because of the whole sort of Izzy Damon Tatum Paxson sort of exchange. I enjoyed that. And Tatum's new dishevelled look dazzling and intriguing. So yeah, guys. So you, guys, that's my NXT review and a bit of housekeeping just before we finish up. Vida, you have decided now to give your until a shitty allowance in your own will out to generate a couple of different thumbnails. So yeah, if some of my thumbnails do get duplicated from now on, that is kind of high because they're sort of hand cut off in the free and cut off in the sort of free account similar to StreamYard and yeah it's a pain in the arse but yeah guys there's not a lot I can do and I refuse pay for on that. But yeah, we'll see what we can do. Remember to like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you all in another video. Take care and I for and enjoy JCW Unity tonight because that episode looks like a racker and I'll see you all very soon.